For the past 150 years, Morgan State University has played an integral role in the higher education system of Baltimore City, the state of Maryland, and the nation. Throughout its history, Morgan has served its community with pride and distinction, while ensuring that the doors of higher education are opened as wide as possible to as many as possible. Morgan serves approximately 8,000 students from the United States and 40 countries in a comprehensive range of more than 70 programs that progress toward the bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees. It was 1976 when the General Assembly of Maryland passed legislation assigning Morgan its mission as a doctoral granting research institution. Before the end of the decade, the university had established its first doctoral program. And since the mid-1990s, the campus has implemented at least 14 more doctoral programs. Morgan State is among a handful of historically black colleges and universities nationally and is classified as a doctoral research university by the Carnegie Foundation for the Advancement of Teaching. Today, Morgan is Maryland's premier public urban research institution. As America reaches for new heights in educational achievement and innovation, Morgan State University has heeded the call to action in preparing the scholars and visionaries of tomorrow. Morgan State University is a national leader among traditional campuses in meeting the national need for productivity in the fields of science, technology, engineering, mathematics, communications, and business. The university is among the top 5 institutions in the United States in awarding baccalaureate degrees to African Americans in engineering, architecture, and hospitality management. In the fields of journalism, accounting, marketing, and business, Morgan ranks among the top 20 institutions nationwide. Morgan leads all historically black colleges and universities in the United States in the production of Fulbright scholars at 136. In the state of Maryland, Morgan is an invaluable asset to the educational goals and professional demands of its citizens. Notably, students earning the baccalaureate degree at Morgan are more likely to enter graduate school than at any other institution in the state, as Morgan exceeds the state average of graduates continuing to pursue advanced degrees. In 2016, Morgan State marked 6 consecutive years of being named by the Black EOE Journal, the Hispanic Network Magazine, and the Professional Women's Magazine among the 25 best institutions for African Americans, Hispanics, and women, respectively. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who may have accidentally parked on Argonne Drive on the northeast side of the campus, please remove your vehicles so that you will not be towed away. Again, if you've accidentally parked your vehicle by the University Police Station, Argonne Drive, please remove your vehicles so you will not be towed away. In 2016, Morgan State marked 6 consecutive years of being named by the Black EOE Journal, the Hispanic Network Magazine, and the Professional Women's Magazine among the 25 best institutions for African Americans, Hispanics, and women, respectively. Morgan again ranked as one of America's best colleges and universities as listed by Forbes magazine. and it was named America's Military-Friendly Schools, and is considered by the college database as one of Maryland's best values for affordability and the quality of education. In the spring of 2016, in a historic and momentous move to preserve the rich cultural legacy of Morgan's campus, the National Trust for Historic Preservation named Morgan State University as a national treasure. This designation by the nation's leading preservation organization recognizes the university's historic significance as an HBCU and its status as a compelling example of the challenges that colleges across the country face in stewarding their historic buildings while redeveloping their historic campuses. Together, Morgan and the National Trust will partner to develop a preservation plan that stewards the many historic buildings on campus while planning wisely for the university's future. This semester also marks the opening of the university's Legacy Bridge, a pedestrian crossing over Hillen Road connecting Morgan's main and west campuses. This new span is named to honor Morgan's civil rights pioneers who helped change the course of history, not only in Baltimore, but also around the nation. As another component of Morgan's West Campus development, in 2017, the university is scheduled to open the new Jenkins Behavioral and Social Sciences Center. Some of the students you will see receiving their degrees this morning are here only through the existence of the Morgan State University Foundation. It is the mission of the foundation to raise money to support deserving students and programs at the university. From grants as small as book scholarships to providing last dollar financing for students in need, the Morgan State University Foundation is, for many of our students, the gateway to educational opportunity. The mission of the Morgan State University Foundation has not yet been achieved. That is, to ensure that no deserving student who seeks a quality education be turned away from our doors. Your help is essential. For more information, please visit www.givetomorgan.org. www.givetomorgan.org. Your gift can make a difference in helping Morgan do what it has done for nearly 150 years, turning students into scholars and scholars into leaders. As we assemble for this grand occasion, Morgan State University today welcomes its commencement speaker, Roland S. Martin, a nationally syndicated columnist, author, and noted broadcast journalist. Martin is host and managing editor of TV One's News One Now, a national television news program that focuses on news, politics, entertainment, sports, and culture from an African-American point of view. Today's speaker is also the creator and host of The Roland Martin Show, a syndicated radio daily broadcast in 20 U.S. markets. Also this morning, in addition to hearing from Roland Martin, the university will honor Morgan alumnus and chair of the MSU Foundation Board, Willie E. Lanier Sr., who would join a list of distinguished individuals who have received the university's highest honor as a recipient of the honorary Doctorate of Laws degree. Mr. Lanier is a member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame and a successful businessman who recently bestowed a $500,000 gift to establish an endowed lectureship in business ethics in Morgan's Earl G. Graves School of Business and Management. Since his graduation from Morgan in 1967, he has been a standout both on and off the field as a professional, ultimately making his mark in business as the president and CEO of the Virginia-based Lanier Group, LLC. The College of Liberal Arts is the largest academic division at the university, consisting of 11 academic departments and several academic support units, and offering 14 undergraduate degree programs, 11 master's degree programs, and 3 doctoral degree programs. All Morgan students, ladies and gentlemen, the faculty of Morgan State University. All Morgan students, regardless of major, take courses and engage in other activities that are housed within the College of Liberal Arts. The philosophy of the College of Liberal Arts purports that a liberal arts education is a process that facilitates the development of self-awareness, value formation, and critical thinking through exposure to the major areas of knowledge, which include the arts, the humanities, and the social and behavioral sciences. The College of Liberal Arts takes great pride in being the traditional laboratory for a number of future performers, including the university's dance program, theater arts, as well as the Museum Studies program attached to the James E. Lewis Museum of African American Art. The college also boasts the internationally acclaimed Morgan State University Choir and the MSU Marching Band. Although the choir draws its membership from students across the campus, its expert training is in the hands of Morgan's maestro, Dr. Eric Conway, chairperson of the Department of Fine and Performing Arts. The band, known as the Magnificent Marching Machine, is under the direction of Mr. Melvin Miles. The traditional black caps and gowns worn by the students and faculty in the academic procession have been the historic regalia of scholars since medieval times. Because many scholars of that period were members of monastic orders, the academic regalia probably represents an adaptation of ecclesiastical dress. A uniform code for academic regalia was drafted by an intercollegiate commission in 1893 and has since been adopted by the majority of colleges and universities in the United States. Each of the 3 academic degrees, bachelor's, master's, and doctor's, has its own distinctive gown and hood. The gown representing the bachelor's degree is distinguished by a long, pointed sleeve. The master's gown has a long, narrow, closed sleeve extending below the knee. The arm is passed through a slit at the elbow. In contrast, The doctoral gown is faced with wide velvet bands, which may be black or a color, indicating a general field of learning. For example, dark blue is for philosophy, green for medicine, and purple for law. The most colorful and distinctive item of academic regalia is the hood, which passes around the neck and extends down the back. The doctor's hood is the largest and the bachelor's hood is the smallest. Often the use of a bachelor's hood is omitted. The wearer's field of learning is indicated by the color of the hood and the tassel. Now entering the auditorium is the School of Graduate Studies. The School of Graduate Studies at Morgan State University is the second and most productive in Maryland among all traditional campuses for awarding doctorate degrees to students of color. It is the seventh-ranked producer in the country of African Americans with degrees in engineering. The School of Graduate Studies is an integral part of the university's mission as a doctoral granting institution. In 2005, Morgan achieved the classification of Doctoral Research Institution by the Carnegie Foundation for the Advancement of Teaching, due in no small measure to the work of the graduate school. Dr. Mark Garrison is the Dean of the School of Graduate Studies. Next is the School of Business and Management. The first Morgan degree in business administration was awarded in 1945. The Earl G. Graves School of Business and Management became a school in 1975. Its mission is to pursue excellence in providing a high-quality management education for a diverse student population and to be recognized as a leading school of business in the Mid-Atlantic region. The Earl G. Graves School of Business and Management is in the top 20 nationally in the production of African Americans with bachelor's degrees in accounting and marketing. The business administration and accounting programs at the undergraduate, master's, and doctoral levels in the School of Business and Management are accredited by the Association to Advance Collegiate Schools of Business International, AASB. This semester, the school's accreditation was renewed for another 5 years by this organization. Less than 5% of business schools around the world hold coveted AACSB accreditation. And among all historically black colleges and universities nationwide, the School of Business and Management at Morgan is one of only 3 to award AACSB accreditation in business and accounting at all 3 levels of academic degrees. The undergraduate program has 1,200 students enrolled in 9 different majors. Now entering the auditorium is the School of Community Health and Policy. As the first doctoral granting urban practice-based community health program at a historically black college and university, the School of Community Health and Policy provides students the opportunity to learn community-based participatory research methods to address racial and ethnic health disparities. The school is comprised of 3 programs: the Public Health Graduate Program, the Nursing Graduate and Undergraduate programs, and the Nutritional Sciences undergraduate program. The current student body consists of more than 500 students at the graduate and undergraduate levels. School of Education and Urban Studies. The School of Education and Urban Studies is committed to preparing a culturally and ethnically diverse student body to serve with distinction in the field. The School of Education and Urban Studies is ranked among the top 50 schools nationally for the number of bachelor's degrees awarded to African Americans in education, and is now ranked 18th among colleges and universities around the country for doctoral degrees awarded to African Americans in education. The Dean of the School of Education and Urban Studies is Dr. Patricia Welch. Now entering the auditorium is the Clarence M. Mitchell Jr. School of Engineering. Since its inception in 1984, the Clarence M. Mitchell School of Engineering at Morgan State University has earned an outstanding reputation for academic excellence in the preparation of undergraduate and graduate students. The School of Engineering has fully accredited undergraduate programs in civil, electrical, and computer, industrial, manufacturing, and information engineering, and graduate programs that offer the Masters of Engineering, the Doctor of Engineering, and the Master of Transportation. Morgan is the only university in the nation to establish a Bachelor's Degree of Science degree program in transportation systems. The School of Engineering is consistently ranked in the top 10 nationally for the number of bachelor's degrees and Doctor of Engineering degrees awarded to African Americans. Dr. Craig Scott is the interim dean of the Clarence M. Mitchell School, Junior School of Engineering. And now entering the auditorium is the College of Liberal Arts. The College of Liberal Arts is the largest academic division at the university, consisting of 11 academic departments and several academic support units, and offering 14 undergraduate degree programs, 11 master's degree programs, and 3 doctoral degree programs. All Morgan students, regardless of major, take courses and engage in other activities that are housed within the College of Liberal Arts. The philosophy of the College of Liberal Arts purports that a liberal arts education is a process that facilitates the development of self-awareness, value formation, and critical thinking through exposure to the major areas of knowledge, which include the arts, the humanities, and the social and behavioral sciences. The College of Liberal Arts takes great pride in being the training laboratory for a number of future performers, including the university's dance program, theater arts, as well as the Museum Studies program, which is attached to the James E. Lewis Museum of African American Art. And now entering the auditorium is the School of Architecture and Planning. The School of Architecture and Planning plays a major role in the revitalization of the communities of Baltimore City, the state of Maryland, and even neighboring states. It lends credibility to the university's commitment to improving the environment in which we all live. The school emphasizes the importance of building green as a part of its mission and instruction. Morgan State University is one of only 2 public institutions in the state of Maryland that houses a School of Architecture and Planning. And it is the only historically black college and university with all 3 programs in architecture, landscape architecture, and city and regional planning. Beginning in the fall of 2016, the School of Architecture and Planning started offering a new post-baccalaureate certificate in sustainable urban communities as a part of its graduate program in architecture. Held the distinction of an outstanding communications program, and its journalism students have been represented in newsrooms across the nation. From this work sprang the university's School of Global Journalism and Communication, which opened formally in the fall of 2013. Morgan's School of Global Journalism and Communication was ranked 2nd among all HBCU journalism schools nationwide by hbcucolleges.com. The school's mission is to give voice to a broader group of people who struggle to contribute to the public discourse that shapes this nation and the world. The school serves in this cause with innovative teaching, cutting-edge research, and exemplary service to Maryland, our nation, and the world. In 2017, Morgan State University will celebrate its 150th anniversary as a major institution of higher education. During this celebration, it will host a full year of activities highlighting the purpose that undergirded its founding, the tremendous progress and growth that the institution has experienced, and the enormous promise and capacity it currently holds as a major world-class institution devoted to growing the future and leading the world. Morgan State is one of 9 HBCUs founded in 1867 and celebrating their sesquicentennial next year. The university is spearheading a joint celebration with all 9 institutions to be held at the nation's capital, near our sister institution, Howard University, in April of 2017. This event is being co-sponsored by the White House Initiative on HBCUs. This sesquicentennial celebration will tell of Morgan's remarkable journey from a December 25th, 1866 planning meeting called to begin work on the establishment of the Centenary Biblical Institute to the first systematic course of lectures delivered to the 9 students at the Sharp Street United Methodist Church on April 30th, 1867, to the November 27th, 1867 Articles of Incorporation filed in the Supreme Court of Baltimore City, officially establishing the Centenary Biblical Institute through the institution's major epochs of growth as Morgan College, as Morgan State College, the model of liberal arts institutions whose students were pioneers in the modern civil rights movement, as Morgan State University, the state's designated urban public university, and now as Morgan State University, the doctoral research institution with an ever-expanding international and global focus. The university looks forward to an exciting year-long celebration that will bring together as a family all of those who have been associated with Morgan's growth and progress over the years, and will document our incredible story for those who are not yet familiar with it. It is especially appropriate that the university celebrates its 150th anniversary at this time, when the university's campus has been declared a national treasure, the first university in the United States to have its entire campus so declared. Ladies and gentlemen, the platform guests are arriving. Dr. Milford A. Jeremiah, Chief Marshal of the Morgan State University faculty, is leading the platform party. Dr. Jeremiah is serving in a continuation of his role as Chief Marshal. The Associate Marshals include Mrs. Joyce Brown, Dr. Edwin Johnson, Dr. Tiffany Beth Nfume, and Ms. Tanya Rush. Other members of the platform party include the President of the University Council, the Alumnus of the Year, and the National Alumni Association President, distinguished members of the clergy, the President and Vice President of the MSU Student Government Association, you will also notice Dr. Clayton Stansberry, the Chief Marshal Emeritus of the Morgan State University and former Director of the University Honors Program. Other platform guests include special guests of the university to commemorate our sesquicentennial, the University Council, special assistants to the President, deans of the university, vice presidents of the university, the Morgan State University Board of Regents, the Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, our honorary degree recipient, Mr. Willie Lanier, ladies and gentlemen, our honorary degree recipient, Mr. Willie Lanier, our commencement speaker, Mr. Roland Martin, Chairman of the Board of Regents, the Honorable Kwaisi Nfume, and ladies and gentlemen, the president of Morgan State University, Dr. David Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, the 10th president of Morgan State University, Dr. David Wilson.
Thank you very much, Mr. Melvin Miles, and members of the Morgan State University Band for the processional music. Good morning. Welcome to the December 2016 commencement exercises of Morgan State University. We are very pleased this morning to have all of you with us to take part in these graduation ceremonies. This week, Morgan State University is pleased to begin its sesquicentennial celebration, its 150th anniversary celebration. The theme of our celebration is purpose, progress, promise, and the celebration will reflect the historic circumstances out of which this institution was established, which, of course, is our purpose. The ceremony will reflect the tremendous progress that we have made and the developments that have enabled us to grow for the last century and a half. And finally, it will reflect our enormous potential as a 21st century doctoral research university to grow the future for our students, for our communities, and for the nation in order to continue to lead this world. This celebration, which will take place throughout the 2017 calendar year, and it began this past week at the Sharp Street Methodist Church, which is the birthplace of Morgan State University. And it continued that afternoon, last Sunday afternoon, with a special sesquicentennial Christmas concert by the internationally acclaimed Morgan State University Choir. And it continues today with Morgan's 4th winter commencement exercises and our 141st year of graduation ceremonies, at which we will graduate the first of 3 sesquicentennial graduating classes. We want you to know that you are joining us today on a very special occasion, and that this graduating class is indeed an historical one. We encourage you to hold on to your commencement program booklet, for this too is an historical document. It will become a valuable keepsake that certifies that you were here on this very auspicious occasion and that your loved one graduated in this historic year. And so now we ask everyone to remain standing for the invocation, followed by the singing of Lift Every Voice, led by one of our most magnificent soprano voices from the Morgan State University Choir, Miss Jasmine Barnes. And so the invocation will now be offered by Reverend Dr. Bernard Kills, Dean of the Morgan State University Memorial Chapel. Reverend Kills.
Mr. President and honored guests, will you pray with me? Oh God, 150 years from whence we began, we find ourselves with great remembrance and honest gratitude for those graduating today did not get here by accident. 150 years later, the seeds that were planted to grow the future now poised to lead the world. At this 2016 winter commencement exercise, we acknowledge those who celebrate the joys and shoulder the burdens of those assembled in this first of three sesquicentennial commencements, men and women of value who have been encouraged, taught, nurtured, prayed for, and who have paid the price. 150 years later, we give thanks for the kinship of community, for the defining moments that awaken eyes and pump the blood of commitment and excellence. 150 years later, oh God, we look back through the portals of time and peer into a promising future that is sometimes uncertain and always unknown. Oh God, we pray that you continue to order our steps for unborn tomorrows, remembering those whose journey began with us and whose time on earth ended before their education could. We pray, blown by the wind of your Spirit, you will guide those graduating today in the paths of love, joy, patience, kindness, and generosity, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. 150 years later, you are about to embark on life's mission that echoes the words first spoken by John Wesley, words remembered in 1866 in the basement of Sharp Street Methodist Episcopal Church, simply to go and do all you can, for the most you can, for as long as you ever can. Amen.
Every voice I sing, soothing heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling seas. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun, let us march on till victory is won. God of all wearies, God of all silent tears, thou hast brought stray from the places, our God, where we met the last stars. Drunk with the wine of the world, we forget thee. Shadow beneath thy hand, may we forever stand true to our God, true to our native land.
You may be seated. Joining us today are several members of the Morgan State University Board of Regents. I'll ask each one of them to stand as I call their name. First, we have the chair of the Morgan State University Board of Regents, the Honorable Kwaisi Mfume. The vice chair of the Board of Regents, Regent Dr. Francis Murphy Draper. We have with us Regent General Larry R. Ellis, Regent Dr. Linda J. Gilliam, Regent the Honorable Tracy L. Parker Warren, Regent Shalonda Stokes, Regent Penelope J. Taylor, Regent Dr. Marquise T. Walker, Regent Winston A. Wilkinson, and our student Regent Matthew Reeds. Please join me in giving a round of applause to the members of the Morgan State University Board of Regents. I'm now pleased to present to you the Honorable Kwaisi Mfume, Chairman of the Morgan State University Board of Regents, who will bring greetings on behalf of the board. Chairman Mfume.
Thank you, Mr. President, and good morning. To my fellow regents seated before you here on the stage, Commencement Speaker Roland Martin, honorary degree recipient and Hall of Fame athlete Willie Lanier, to the distinguished faculty who are joined with us today, administrators and staff, but most of all, to the graduating class of 2016, good morning. It is my real pleasure to bring you greetings from the Board of Regents of Morgan State University as we close out yet another successful academic year and send forth another class of Morgan graduates. We are also pleased and particularly honored to have with us on this special day a number of parents, grandparents, and family members, and we welcome you as well. This is, as you have heard, however, not just another routine close of an academic period or just another graduating class at Morgan State University. This is the first sesquicentennial graduating class in the history of our university. As such, it represents a new milestone and is an enduring symbol, I believe, of the 150 years of quality education offered by this institution, an institution founded just 4 years after Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation. First, as a centenary biblical institute, then as Morgan College, then as Morgan State College, and now as Morgan State University. The Board of Regents rejoices with these graduates today and with our institution in this singular accomplishment and on this auspicious occasion. As you can see by looking around you, commencement is a joyous occurrence for the university, and it is a moment of great triumph and achievement for all of our graduates. And now, students, you finally know that what lies behind you and what lies before you is of less significance when compared to what lies within you. So as you go forward from this day, remember, as you were taught here at Morgan, that scholarship is earned and that excellence is premeditated. We plan for it, we work for it, and then we live for it. I challenge you to hearken back to the cautionary admonishment of the late Frank Outlaw when he said, "Watch your thoughts, for they become your words. Watch your words, for they become your actions. Watch your actions, for they become your habits. And watch your habits, for they become your character. But most of all, watch your character, for it becomes your destiny." So graduates, the degree that you will receive in just a few moments will in fact represent many things. It will be a reward for your academic excellence. It will be a reminder of a debt of gratitude that you will never be able to repay your parents and grandparents. It will be both a source of relief and respect from your professors. But more than anything, it is in fact now a license to learn. So remember this day, for it will pass quickly. Remember the faces of the fellow students who are seated all around you, and know that some of them you will never, ever see again. Remember Fair Morgan, her orange and her blue, and never let go of your alma mater. We, the members of the Board of Regents, salute you, the members of the class of 2016. Do not follow in life just where a path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail of your own. Congratulations and Godspeed. Ladies and gentlemen, as a part of our sesquicentennial celebration, Morgan State University is pleased to break new ground this morning, as you've heard and will continue to hear, but also pleased to introduce for the first time in our history special Morgan State University academic regalia to be worn by the president of the institution. The Morgan State University Presidential Gala marks a new era in our institution's presidency, and its design was specially commissioned by the Sesquicentennial Coordinating Committee. The chief and sesquicentennial marshals and associate marshals will now divest the president of his current academic gala. And while they come forward and begin that process, I will take a moment to do a roll call of the preceding 9 presidents and 2 acting presidents that are a part of our history over the past 150 years. The first president, John Emory Round, 1872 to 1882. The second president, Reverend William Maslin Friesinger, 1882 to 1888. The third president, Reverend Francis J. Wagner, 1888 to 1901. Interim President, Reverend Charles Edmund Young, 1901 to 1902. The fourth President, Dr. John Oakley Spencer, 1902 to 1937, who incidentally was Morgan's longest serving president. The fifth president, Dwight Oliver Wendell Holmes, 1937 to 1948, Morgan's first African-American president. The sixth president, Dr. Martin David Jenkins, 1848 to 1970. Interim President, Dr. Thomas Pettigrew Frazier, 1970 to 71. The 7th President, Dr. King Virgil Cheek, 1971 to 1974. The 8th President, Dr. Andrew Billingsley, 1975 to 1984. Interim President, again, Thomas Pettigrew Frazier, 1974 to 1975. The 9th President, Dr. Earl Stanford Richardson, 1984 to 2010, Morgan's second longest serving president. And the 10th President, Dr. David Wilson, 2010 to the present day. I will now join the marshals in investing President David Wilson with the official presidential academic regalia. I would ask that my fellow regents join me by standing in place for this very special investiture. Dr. David Wilson, on behalf of the Board of Regents of Morgan State University, I hereby invest you with the first ever official presidential regalia of the President of the University. Thank you, Chairman Mfume and members of the Board of Regents. This is such an humbling experience. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I accept this new presidential academic regalia with gratitude, and I promise you that I will wear it with pride and with devotion. It represents the leadership of a great institution at the commencement of its 150th anniversary, and I consider myself fortunate to be president on this momentous occasion and at this period in our remarkable history. I pledge to continue with all my might to work with the entire Morgan State University family to move this institution forward into the next 150 years. I thank you very much. I would like to note that at these sesquicentennial commencement exercises today, Morgan State University is also unveiling new
distinctive academic regalia for all of our graduates. The new Morgan academic regalia uses Morgan's official colors, orange and blue, rather than the standard traditional black. You see before you this morning our new bachelor's degree gown, our new master's degree gown, and our new doctoral gown. All are designed in a combination of orange and blue, and the disciplines in which our students are receiving their degrees are indicated by the color of the tassel on the mortarboard for the bachelor's degree holders, the color of the velvet on the hood for our master's degree graduates, and by the color of the insignia woven into the velvet panels on the front of the gown for our doctoral degree graduates. Please join me in applauding the class of December 2016, who are the first to wear Morgan's new academic regalia. Today, Morgan is also retiring the university mace that has led our academic processions for 60 years, since it was designed by Dr. Charles W. Stallings of the Art Department and donated to what was then Morgan State College by the General Alumni Association in 1956. We are replacing it with a new university mace, which is being introduced today for the very first time. It is a longer mace that will enable us to add the names of future presidents of the university on it. The new university mace was also donated by the Morgan State University Alumni Association. In addition, for the next 3 commencement exercises, we will be led in academic processions by the Sesquicentennial Mace, which was designed and commissioned by the Sesquicentennial Celebration Planning Committee. It is this mace to my immediate right. This is the reason why the academic procession today is being led by 3 chief marshals. Dr. Clayton S. Stansberry, Chief Faculty Marshal Emeritus, who for 35 years was the longest-serving Chief Marshal, is bearing the university mace that we are retiring, the one on the pillow. Dr. Milford A. Jeremiah, the current Chief Faculty Marshal, is bearing the new university mace, the one in the middle. And Dr. Bernie J. Hollis, Chairman of the Sesquicentennial Celebration Planning Committee, is bearing the Sesquicentennial mace. Please join me in giving our Chief Marshals a round of applause. And finally, I'm pleased to announce yet another milestone that Morgan State University will achieve and a threshold that we will reach here today. During our 150th year history, this institution, as you've heard from Chairman Mfume, started as the Centenary Biblical Institute, then Morgan College, then Morgan State College, and now Morgan State University has awarded a total of 49,743 diplomas, certificates, and degrees. And so today, with the awarding of nearly 450 degrees, Morgan, for the very first time in its 150-year history, will have awarded more than 50,000 diplomas, certificates, and degrees. This is truly a reason for us to celebrate today. And so now I would like to introduce our commencement speaker. Morgan State University is very privileged and extremely honored this morning to have as our commencement speaker a distinguished American who needs no introduction and whose name is recognized across the country and around the world For 25 years, he has been a prominent figure in the world of print and broadcast journalism, and a clarion voice speaking of important political and social issues affecting the African American community. A native of Houston, Texas, Roland S. Martin earned his Bachelor of Science degree in journalism at Texas A&M University in 1987, and then later he took the master's degree in Christian communication at Louisiana Baptist University and Seminary. But since 1981, when he entered the profession as a county government and neighbors reporter at the Austin American-Statesman, Roland Martin has been on a steady, sure-footed climb to distinction as a journalist, first as a city reporter for the Fort Worth Star-Telegraph, as morning drive sports reporter at KRLD 1080 AM, as news director and morning anchor at KKDA AM in Dallas, as editor of the Dallas Weekly, as the first editor of Tom Joyner's BlackAmericaWeb.com, as news correspondent for American Urban Radio Network, as founder of Romar Media Group in Dallas, as consultant at the Chicago Defender, as radio talk show host in Chicago, as owner and publisher of the Christian Monthly Dallas-Fort Worth Heritage, as managing editor of the Houston Defender. Roland Martin, you have been busy. And not only that, he's found time to author 3 books. His first book, Listening to the Spirit Within, 50 Perspectives on Faith, followed by his second book, Speak Brother, A Black Man's View of America, and then his third book, The First, Barack Obama's Road to the White House, as originally reported to Roland S. Martin. Roland has also won more than 30 professional awards, including the Top Sports Reporting Award from the National Association of Black Journalists, the Top 50 Political Pundits Award from the Daily Telegraph in the United Kingdom, 2 NAACP Image Awards for Best Interviews, listing 3 times in Ebony Magazine's 150 Most Influential Blacks in the United States, and he has won the President's Award from the National Association of Black Journalists. I could go on and on and on. Today he joins us as host and managing editor of TV One's News One Now, the first daily morning news program in history to focus on news and analysis of politics, entertainment, sports, and culture from an explicitly African-American perspective. Please, ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving a warm Morgan welcome to our commencement speaker and our friend, Roland S. Martin. Roland, welcome to Morgan.
All right. So how we doing? Damn, that's it? How we doing? All right, then. Glad to be here. Glad to see all y'all here. Cold as hell outside. Thank God y'all had those heaters in the walkway because it was a little chilly out there. I had to race over here. Had to do my show this morning, and we're supposed to do it from the campus. We had some technical issues, but we'll be sure to come back do my show from Morgan State's campus. I was last here. We did our town hall after the death of Freddie Gray, and so we appreciate the hospitality from Morgan State. Now, last week, Saturday I did a commencement speech at Virginia State, and somebody they said, please tell Morgan State we are the real blue and orange. Now, that's what they told me to tell y'all. That's what they said. So I figured y'all would have a response to what they had to say, right? So are y'all the real blue and orange? That was a little weak. That was a little weak. They were a little loud at Virginia State. Are y'all the real blue and orange? Okay, all right. All right, so before I start, we walked in here. I typically break rules. That's just how I do. I walked in here and I heard Pomp and Circumstance, and that was cute. I appreciate that. And I've done this before, so if y'all know how I roll, that's how I roll. But typically when I come to HBCU, I like to hear black stuff. I mean, I don't disrespect. Pomp and Circumstance is cute. The other songs are nice. So before I speak, just like normally a preacher will have an A and B selection, I need the band to play something black. Because ain't nobody going to remember Pomp and Circumstance when they go home and they were talking about my graduation. So when I come to HBCU, I need to hear some HBCU band music. So can y'all, by 3 minutes, play something as if I'm actually at a Morgan State halftime show? Because it's a little quiet. It's a little quiet in here. So excuse me if y'all got protocol. I don't really care. So, band director, go. Like right now. Oh, graduates, y'all can go ahead and stand up. It's your graduation. Let's just be clear. Faculty, y'all a little lazy. Y'all can stand up too. Y'all a little slow on this side of the room. You in the kente cloth, you can get on up too. Come on. That's what I'm saying. Y'all in the audience, y'all can stand up as well. Come on now. That's what I'm saying. Crazy. I'm sure Kappa. See, this how alphas do it. Y'all in the audience, y'all a little too quiet. There we go. All right, I can speak now. I can speak now. All right, so we're going to do one last thing. I just need y'all cooperation. Y'all have to say, we are the Morgan State class of 2016. Repeat that after me. You're watching News One Now with Roland Martin on TV One. Okay, Mr. President and Chairman Quazy, come on. All right. Okay, on three. This is going to be on Monday's show. That's what happened when you got your own show. All right. One, okay, hold up. Hey, calm down. 1, 2, 3. You're supposed to say, this is the Morgan State class of 2016. You're watching News One Now with Roland Martin on TV One. All right, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Ain't none of y'all getting a job. Last time, you're watching News One Now with Roland Martin on TV One. You mess it up, you ain't gonna be on TV on Monday. All right, 1, 2, 3. Ain't none of y'all getting a degree. All right, appreciate it. Lord. Can't follow directions, Lord. Woo, we're going to pray for this class. I bet the May people would have got it right. Just messing with y'all. Again, glad to be here. I got a call a couple of weeks ago from your president. Let me tell y'all how black people do. Whenever somebody black call you and the first thing they say is, look here. There is a request for the hookup after that. So I was sitting here minding my business, and all of a sudden April Ryan calls me. She's a graduate of your institution. She said, Roland, I'm driving, and I got the president on the phone, but she actually had 2 phones. So she put one phone on speakerphone and put him on the other phone. And his first words were, Mr. Martin, how you doing? As the president of Morgan State. Look at here. We got graduation coming up. And I was like, uh-oh. Whenever I hear look at here, I know something is following, which means we can't pay you. But look at here. I'm just messing with y'all. Just messing with y'all. Certainly glad to be here, to be before you. I never take it lightly, the opportunity to be able to address the graduating class. So I want to thank certainly the invitation to speak. Also, all the administrators, faculty, and staff as well, your board of trustees. Shout out to all the folks out of Baltimore who appear on my show, who watch News One Now. It is important for us to have our own show where we don't apologize for being black. And so that's how we do it. And so also hello to all of family and friends here. Now, someone asked me, they tweeted me, they said, what you gonna talk about? I said, well, I don't write speeches, because I wrote a speech one time, never read from it, so that was a waste of my time. So I certainly allow God to be God, to speak in a different and unique way. And I was contemplating what I wanted to say. And anytime you speak in front of this many black people, you have to name your speech. Because it's like at church, if you don't tag your text, they don't remember what you talked about. And so I will title this, Walk in Your Destiny. Walk in Your Destiny. If you are honest with yourself, graduates, there are some people in the stands who are happy to be here, but they were not fully supportive of why you pick your major. Now, I know some of y'all don't want to say nothing because you got some relatives here who are looking at you right now saying, are they going to move and say something? Because if you're real honest, you have made some decisions in your life that have not made your family members happy. Some folks, if you really want to be honest, wanted you to go somewhere else. Well, see, I know I'm stepping on toes because anytime folks get that quiet, I'm bowling down their alley, sitting in their pew, and they sitting there saying, why he got to talk about me today? And so here you are, you decided what it is you wanted to do in your life, and folks have been doubting you, even though what they're saying, well, go right ahead, but they were not fully in your corner. That there might be some faculty here. You actually experienced that in your life. Your family, your friends may have said the exact same thing. Some folks behind me, same thing. If you really want to be honest with yourself, you've actually experienced that. See, I was a December of graduate 1991 from Texas A&M. And a few weeks before graduation, I was in the car with my daddy, and we were talking. He said, well, son, do you really want to do this journalism thing? And I said, has this Negro lost his mind? Let me paint the picture for y'all. I went to a school of communications magnet school. So for 4 years of high school, I was studying radio, television, and newspaper. I majored in journalism in college. I graduated in 4 years, 3 months. For 8 years, I was studying communications. And I literally said, really? You asking me this question right now? When that's all I've done for the last 8 years, what do you think I'm going to do? Now, my dad was concerned because he understood, doing his research, the starting salary of journalists. And he was concerned because here I was, and I was coming out of college, and I was sitting here. They offered me $20,000, and I said, no. I said, no, y'all got to at least add a couple of grand to that. So my starting salary was $22,100. And he was concerned, and he's freaking out. And I'm like, but this is what I've always wanted to do. See, Daddy ain't tripping about that today because, see, Daddy right now is living in the house that I paid off. Daddy is driving the car I paid off. Mom and Daddy had their 60th birthday 9 years ago and their 40th wedding anniversary, and I paid for the full trip to Hawaii, as well as spending money, first class, car service, and everything. Mom and Daddy will celebrate 50 years of marriage in June. More than likely, the OJs will be singing at their anniversary. Mom and Daddy won't be paying for the OJs to sing at their anniversary. Daddy ain't really saying right now, son, do you really want to go into journalism? The reason I lay all of that out to you is because I never changed. I never doubted what God put in my spirit, because this is what I've always wanted to do. Others have come to me to do other jobs. Folks have come to me to run for office. Folks have come to me to run other companies. And I said, no, this is what I was destined and designed to do. And see, when you do what you are destined and designed to do, you are living a life of passion and purpose. So therefore, even when others are doubting your choices, you are never doubting your choices. See, that's critically important, because there might be some folks sitting in the stands right now, maybe some folks who are watching at home, and let's just be honest, for the last 20, 25, 30 years, they've had regrets. They're doing a job they really didn't want to do. They're living a life they really did not want it. They wanted to move somewhere else and work somewhere else. But because of circumstances, they are doing what they are doing. And here they are frustrated and angry because of the choices that they made. What I am here to tell you is, if you believe and if you have properly asked God, is this your will for my life, then you should not worry what anyone else has to say, because you are walking in your destiny. I see that's tough for some of us to accept, because see, there are those moments in our lives when we are going through difficulties and we're really trying to figure out, how is all of this stuff going to work out, and I just don't see the pathway. But see, the reality is, as a person of faith, I understand Psalm 139 when it says, I saw your yet unformed body in your mother's womb. Because see, when God has a purpose for your life and you are walking in your destiny, what you can always count on is that what you are supposed to do will work out for the best, but the responsibility is for you never to lose sight of that and never to lose faith. See, some of y'all right now, y'all don't think y'all ever be sitting here. That was a moment where you were on your knees and you were, Lord, please let me get this D. Y'all know I'm not lying. Let's be real clear. I have always had the ability to communicate. I ain't got no problem saying I communicated myself to at least 2 Ds in college. Yes, I did. Don't think I didn't. What I said, I need to go ahead. We need to just put that in the Hall of Fame, because that was some of the best communicating I had ever done in my life. Because see, when we go through difficult times, we don't always see beyond the horizon. Some of us are sitting here and not even just praying to get through that semester. You never even thought you were going to walk onto this campus. And people were doubting you, and you said, I'm going anyway. And there were people who were in your neighborhood, and they were saying, yeah, you'll be back. And that was driving you the entire time, because what you were saying is, I don't want to go back because I don't want them to be right. And see, that's fine, because fear sometimes can drive you where you need to go. See, there's nothing wrong with fear, because sometimes when you are afraid to go back, when you're afraid to return home, when you're afraid to face your doubters, when you're afraid to look them in the eye, there's nothing like being able to go back and say, I did it even while you were hating. See, when I was in high school, Jack Yates High School in Houston. All right, we got some Yates folks here. JY, okay, all right then. We all over the place, just so y'all know. It's my senior year in high school, and there was a teacher on our campus, and I hadn't even taken one of his classes, and he walked up to me. He said, Roland, I understand that you're going to Texas A&M. I said, yep. And he said, well, you sure you ready? I said, I'm sorry. What do you mean, am I sure I'm ready? He says, well, that's a little tough. Do you think you ought to go to Prairie View first and then go? I said, well, first of all, what you're telling me is that you think that Prairie View, the HBCU, is inferior to Texas A&M and is less than. But also what you're telling me is that you did not properly prepare me as a high school student to be able to handle the rigors of a Texas A&M. I said, so isn't your doubt really not can I handle it, but isn't your doubt really about whether y'all did y'all supposed to do? I did say that. Same thing happened with our football coach, Luther Booker. Won multiple state championships, produced some of the greatest athletes ever played college and the NFL, and he grabbed me one day and he said, I hear you going to Texas A&M. I said, yes, I am. He said, it's a doggone shame all of our black kids bypassing our HBCUs going to the white schools. I said, really? Are you not the same coach who complains when Nebraska and OU and Texas A&M and Alabama and Ohio State does not recruit your top players? I said, so what you're saying is you only want our top football players to go to schools like A&M, but you somehow don't want those of us who don't play sports to go to the A&Ms of the world. I said, do you also understand that Texas A&M was a land-grant institution that was founded in 1876, and like many people in the South, they did not want to accept federal funds, but it was black legislators who came out of slavery, who was in the legislatures, who ensured that these universities were created with those federal funds. So it was actually freed slaves that made land-grant institutions what they were. Did you not go to Prairie View, which is a land-grant institution? So the same land-grant money that's created Texas A&M created Prairie View A&M. Now, please explain to me the problem. Yeah, I was one of those students. See, understand when I graduated 4 years later from Texas A&M, I went back to my high school and I sought out the teacher who said I was not prepared to go there and should have gone somewhere else. And I was sure to leave a graduation invitation on his desk so he could understand that when you're walking in your destiny, doubters and haters will never be able to win when you know exactly what you were supposed to do. It's the same thing when there are people in your life who are questioning you and whether you should make this decision or that decision. But when you're walking in your destiny, you should never worry what others have to say, because you will always have the last laugh because you did what you were supposed to do. But the question is, are you going to do all that is required for you to fulfill your destiny? See, it's one thing to say, I'm going to major in this. It's one thing to say, I'm going to get a job in this. But the real question is, are you going to do what's necessary once you're there to stay there and elevate your game? And then are you now also going to take on the whole view that what somebody else thinks to be the greatest thing in the world is not the most important thing to you? So therefore, what you really begin to say is, no, I know exactly what it is I want to do. So I had a brother who pulled me aside and he said, man, when you going to get you a show? I said, I'm on TV every day, 7 a.m., TV 1. He said, no. I don't mean, he said, I mean a real show. I said, real show? He said, yeah, I mean like a real show on CNN, MSNBC, Fox ABC. I said, a real show. I said, do you realize that when Lester Holt comes to D.C. and he does the NBC Nightly News, he literally sits in the exact same chair that I sit in? I said, same camera, same desk, same walls and everything. I said, we do my show at NBC News Channel 8th floor. I said, we send the show via satellite the same way they do. I said, you turn on the cable, it's the same thing. I said, but you think because it is a black network, it is not a real show, when the fact of the matter, it is. I said, do you also know that Lester Holt is the anchor of NBC Nightly News? But unlike when Brian Williams was the anchor of NBC Nightly News, Brian Williams was the anchor and managing editor of NBC Nightly News, which means that Brian Williams had the final authority over what was reported on NBC Nightly News. Lester Holt doesn't. I said, do you realize what my title is at TV1's News One Now? I am the host and managing editor. That means that there's nothing that goes on the show that I don't approve. If there's something that I don't approve of, it's not going to make the air. If there's a guest on the show I don't want on, they don't get on. If there's somebody who I want on right now, live in the middle of the show, I would suggest the folks in the control room get them on the phone, because there will be a problem when the show is over. I said, what you don't understand is you want me to be on somebody else's network when I have full control over what I do here. You heard your president reading off the newspapers that I ran. It's the exact same thing. Ran the Dallas Weekly, the Houston Defender, as well as the Dallas Weekly. Also, Chicago Defender. Also became general manager. Why is that important? Because I never believed that somebody else's ice is colder. Because I understood what my destiny was. Next year, we will celebrate the 190th anniversary of the nation's first black newspaper, Freedom's Journal, created in 1827. The lead editorial of the first black newspaper was, quote, "We wish to plead our own cause, too long have others spoken for us." What that means is that for some reason in our life, we have lived a life where we are waiting for somebody else to tell our story, to report our story, to do our story, and I've always been of the mind I would rather be in control of my own destiny, report on my own people and products that we own and control, as opposed to asking somebody else, can I cover this? Can I report on this? Can we do this? See, when you're walking in your own destiny, you don't get caught up in whether your show is on CNN or MSNBC. You know that there's value when you have your own network like TV1 to report your story. Because see, after Freddie Gray was killed, everybody in America was talking about what was happening in Baltimore. It was on fire, but there was only one network who chose to come to Morgan State to have a town hall to deal with what was happening in Baltimore, and that was the Black Network. I had a woman who actually called me one day, and she said, you know, Roland, I really think you should be bigger than you are. You should be on NBC or CBS. And said, baby, I'm good. Enough folk know my name. I said, see, you're caught up in somebody else's stuff. You want white validation for what? I said, I don't need validation from anybody else. When I walk through airports and when I see the brother who is shining shoes, when I was coming from the bathroom and the brother who's a janitor with a broom in his hand, he said, brother, thanks for holding it down for us. That's all the validation that I need. When you are walking in your destiny, you're not worried about what somebody else is saying. What I'm saying to you is you are going to be presented with a decision in life where you're going to have to decide, do I want to be with a big company, small opportunity, or a small company and a big opportunity? You got to then make a decision. Because see, do understand, when I was at the White House sitting at the table in an off-the-record interview with the president, conversation with the president, I wasn't there when I was with CNN. I was there because of TV1. When I won the first Image Award with President Obama and the second Image Award with First Lady Michelle Obama, the name does not say CNN, it says TV1. When I sat down with Sam Jackson and Spike Lee and others, it was because of TV1 and not because of CNN. Folk get excited by those three letters, CNN, but the reality is I have been able to do what I wanted to do for my people because of five letters, TVONE. What I'm trying to explain to you is when you understand that, when you walk in your destiny, you get it. But some of y'all might be saying, well, that's because of now, but no. See, I declined an internship with CBS News to work at the Houston Defender. 1990, I declined an internship at CBS News to work at a black newspaper. I would have been carrying a tripod unpaid at CBS News. But at the black newspaper, I was interviewing the mayor and Congressman Craig Washington, and we're able to interface with folks across the country. See, some of us get excited by CBS, and we bypass the Houston Defender. But see, fast forward to 2013 when I got NABJ Journalist of the Year. I got it because of a coverage of voter suppression on TV One, not CNN. News One now, Washington Watch, Sunday show. CNN said 2009, not giving you a show. TV One said, we giving you a show. In fact, 2009, I was sitting there, and the president of CNN, we went to lunch, he said, when you gonna give up Time Joyner? When you gonna give up TV One? When you gonna give up all these speeches? And I said, when you gonna give me a 5-day-a-week show? That I might think about it. 2010, he got fired. 2013, my contract was up. 2016, I'm still on Time Joyner. I'm still on TV One. I'm still giving speeches. I still publish my own books. I still have my own company. What I'm trying to get you to understand, you have to walk in your destiny and not what somebody else thinks you should be doing. When you do that, then you can have an impact on the world that nobody else will be able to touch, because that's because you understand what's important. You are going to have to make those type of decisions. And when you do, you must be willing to look somebody in the eye and say, I'm perfectly fine just where I am. You might think somebody else, that's important, but it's not. You might have to turn down more money somewhere else, take less money, but if I got freedom and flexibility, you can have more money, because I've got more money in stress, freedom, and drama, and I'm asking you, can I do something? And I can take a little less, and I'm in control of my life and my destiny. You can have a couple of more dollars, because I take freedom and flexibility every single day. We make decisions because we're trying to please somebody else. We're trying to make somebody else happy. I love my mama and my daddy, but I do not make decisions to make them happy. I got one brother, 3 sisters. I don't make a decision to make them happy. I have a wife. I don't make a decision to make her happy. I make decisions through the prism of my faith. Lord, is it in your will for me to do this? Because see, for a lot of us, we pray for a house, pray for a car, pray for a job, pray for a husband, pray for a wife, and we never put on the end of that, Lord, if it's in your will for me to do this. And if you are operating in his will, if you are operating every single day doing what God designed for you to do, trust me, you are going to have the riches of life, and they may not be revealed in your bank account, but you will have peace of mind. You will have an understanding of what you're supposed to do. That's every decision that you should make. And so when you leave here, you have to ask yourself, Lord, should I take this job or that one? What's in your will? Because there have been some jobs that I wanted to take. God said, no, don't do that. Because see, you don't know what's around the corner. All you can see is just right in front of you. I know what's around the corner. And I've sat here, and there were some folks, some of y'all might know this, y'all want to date somebody. And y'all like, man, she look good, he look good. About 3 years later, Lord, they don't look good. What happened? And you said, I tried to tell you, and either you listened or you didn't. Because see, here's one of the mistakes we make. God will give you the desires of your heart, but it don't mean your heart is right. Some of y'all gonna get that as y'all at your graduation party. He will give you the desires of your heart, but you got to make sure that your heart is right. And some of y'all are saying, well, that's great. And I said this last week. When I say walk in your destiny, some of y'all are saying, man, that's great. All the stuff that the president said, man, this brother's doing all this sort of stuff, and he talked about his mom and daddy living in a house that he paid for. But do understand, 16 years ago when I was at the Democratic National Convention, and the night Al Gore accepted the nomination for president, my appendix ruptured. Do understand that night I was sitting there going to a hospital in L.A. with my appendix ruptured, and I was a 29-year-old producer, and I did not have health insurance. Do understand, just 9 months before that, when I moved back to Dallas to get a job, and then when I got there, bought a house, and the job was not there, and the brother wouldn't answer the phone call. I'm still looking for him today. Do understand that I was in a situation where here I am, a new homeowner, coming out of a divorce, don't have a job, and all of a sudden my appendix ruptures, and all of a sudden I'm sitting there without health insurance, sitting in the hospital for 5 days. While I'm in the hospital, car gets repossessed at the airport because the lease was up and could not pay it off because of lack of money. And here I am facing $100,000 in health care bills, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Do understand, while I'm sitting there and I'm going, Lord, I need to understand something. I have all these skills, I have all these gifts, I have all these talents. Why are these things not happening? Why is this happening in my life? The Lord said, I will provide. I'm like, yeah, I hear I will provide, but the light's going to get cut off in 48 hours. I need you somehow to provide real quick when it comes to a check to keep the lights on. See, don't understand, while y'all sitting here reading somebody's bio, you better read what's behind somebody's bio. And do understand. Do understand while I'm going through this situation, trying to understand what's happening, and then all of a sudden, 2001, 2002, 2003, then all of a sudden, then the house begins to go into foreclosure. And I'm like, Lord, what's going on? And then all these things are happening, and then all of a sudden, I get the phone call to become the consultant for the Chicago Defender. And then I negotiate a job paying me $110,000 a year. And then all of a sudden, I got to move to Chicago. Then I'm dealing with a sister who's in an abusive marriage who comes to me. Me and my wife only married less than 6 months with her 2 kids, 5 and 2. So here I'm newly married and dealing with a sister and 2 nieces, raising them, and I'm trying to be the father figure for them. All these things are happening. Pay off bankruptcy, go through that. All these things begin to happen because God said, I need you to trust me all throughout, because I told you what you were designed to do, but you got to have enough faith in me to make these things happen. God told me point blank in July 2000, I got to put some people in place for these things to happen, for these things begin to happen. And see, so when you talk about the show on TV1 today in 2016, it was because I met Jonathan Rogers in 1989 at the National Association of Black Journalists Convention when I ran for student representative on the board, and he was a board member. Don't understand, I might be wearing the Alpha soul, but Jonathan also was an Alpha. And then when he left Discovery Network and then all of a sudden signed with TV1, Jonathan began to say, your voice is important. I'm going to put you on television. We won't start when we first launch, but it's going to happen. See, on MLK Day in January, TV1 will be 13 years old. I will have been with the network for 12 of those years. Oh, but see, I know some of y'all are saying, well, wait a minute, but how did that happen? Same thing, he read Tom Joyner, Black America Web, because I met Neil Foote in 1989 on the board of NABJ when I was a student representative, and that's all of a sudden Neil Foote in 2003 was the one who helped Tom Joyner launch Black America Web. I was one of the first folks he called. I'm trying to get you to understand that what happened in 1989, the reason that matters is because Daddy was going to take a new job somewhere else, but Daddy worked at Amtrak. And Daddy worked at Amtrak. I couldn't afford to fly to New York, but luckily Daddy worked at Amtrak, and Daddy said, how important is this? I said, Daddy, going to this convention could very well change the course of my life. Nearly every job that I've had in my career has been a result of the people who I first met at that convention in 1989. Oh, but I got to go back a little further, because in 1985, when I was a junior at Jack Yates High School, we had career day. And then all of a sudden, we had 2 folks who came in, a white guy and an Asian woman. She was a municipal judge in Houston. And over here, we had a guy who had an import-export business. But as he was talking, he also began to say that he used to be chairman of the Texas Republican Party. I'm going to come back to that, because y'all understand you can't always ignore somebody. If they got a D or an R, you never know how they're going to impact your life. So we were sitting in the government class, and they said time for ask questions. And then all of a sudden, we began, nobody wanted to ask questions, 30-some odd students. So I began to ask questions. Why? Because Daddy watched 5 hours of news a day. Daddy read the paper every day. I had to do the exact same thing. So I began to hit him on policies dealing with Reagan, Social Security, federal government, and this white guy looking at me like, I don't know who this little black kid is, but he's sure asking me a whole lot of questions. And so all of a sudden, I impressed this very same guy sitting in that classroom Coach said, welcome to his next class. We begin to talk, stayed in contact. Oh, but do understand that was 1985. And then, of course, in 1989, here we are at Texas A&M, and we began to sit here and write letters of 30 foundations all across Texas to try to go to this convention. And we see and get 29 rejection letters. Then one day the envelope comes in. And the envelope comes in, and we open it up, and it says, Roland Martin, great to see you still doing what you want us to do. Here's a $1,000 check for y'all to be able to go to this convention, and I hope it helps defray your costs, signed George Strait. See, George Strait was the same white guy, former head of the Texas Republican Party, who was in that classroom in 1985, who I began to hit with questions. See, do understand something? Had Daddy not watched news, had Daddy not read the newspaper, had I not followed in Daddy's footsteps, I would not have been prepared to ask the very questions in 1985. I would not have been able to impress this guy in 1985, who would not have been able to write a check in 1989. We would not have been able to go to the National Association of Black Journalists in 1989, we would not have been able to run for the board of directors, we would not have met Jonathan Reuters, we would not have met Neil Foote, we would not have met Dwayne Wickham, we would not have met E.R. Shipp, we would not have met all the folks who I've had jobs in my life, because the whole time I was walking in my destiny. Small decision to read a paper and asking a question in 85 changes a life in 89, changes a life in 2000, and then 2003, and then 2013, and then 2016. When you walk in your destiny, when you trust God for where you are trying to go, then you will have the kind of life you always dreamed of. And when you do that, then you will be able one day to come back to this campus, and that will say, there goes one of our great Morgan State graduates, because why? They walked in their destiny.
Come on for Roland Martin. Roland Martin, TV1, Roland Martin. Absolutely. Walk in your destiny. Great, thank you. Thank you. Wow. On behalf of the class of December 2016, I think you just saw the reaction to walking in your destiny. We thank you so much, Roland, for taking the time to be our commencement speaker here. We want you to know that we welcomed you back for a second time here at Morgan. I attended your town hall meeting when you came here after Freddie Gray, and we want you to always know that Morgan State University is your home, not that other institution you mentioned, right? And so I'm going to ask you to come back to the podium for a special presentation. Morgan State University Presidential Citation. Morgan State University Distinguished Achievement Award presented to Roland S. Martin, syndicated columnist, syndicated radio broadcaster, political and social commentator, and managing editor and host of TV1's News One Now. I, David Wilson, president of Morgan State University, congratulate you, Roland S. Martin, for your long and fruitful career as one of the nation's most prominent and distinguished print and broadcast journalists. I commend you, creator and host of The Roland Martin Show, managing editor and host of TV1's News One Now, and senior analyst for the Tom Joyner Morning Show, for being one of the nation's foremost advocates for the economic and political empowerment of minorities, and for speaking truth to power about important political and social issues affecting the African American community. And I applaud you for maintaining a clear sense of your calling in this world to make the American dream a reality for all citizens, and to give voice to those who oftentimes find themselves voiceless in the politics and economy of the nation. given December 2016 commencement exercises, Morgan State University. Please join me in congratulating Roland.
Okay, go that side. All right, we gotta go this side. Got it. 1-9.
Now, we have no idea where that came from. The honorary degree will now be conferred, and I call upon the chairman of the board, Chairman Kwesi Mfume.
Mr. President, the Board of Regents of Morgan State University hereby authorizes you to confer upon Willie E. Lanier, Sr., an honorary degree in recognition of his notable and noteworthy achievements.
Mr. President, Willie E. Lanier Sr. is a legend in Morgan State University sports history, and he is both a pioneer and a legend in the history of American professional football. Trained at Morgan by celebrated coach Earl C. Banks, he was voted Most Valuable Player in 1966 in the Morgan State University victory over Westchester State Rams in the Tangerine Bowl, when the Morgan Bears made history and broke down racial barriers by becoming the first historically black college to participate in an integrated bowl game and to do so on network television. After graduating from Morgan in 1967, he was drafted by the Kansas City Chiefs and spent 11 seasons there as the nation's first African-American middle linebacker in professional football history. His outstanding career with Kansas City Chiefs earned him a Super Bowl ring in 1970, spots on the American Football League All-Star team and several Pro Bowls, numerous Player Association Linebacker of the Year awards, and induction into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1986. After retiring from professional football in 1978, Willie E. Lanier entered the field of stock brokerage and investment banking, there to establish a remarkable record of achievement that led to his current position as president of the Lanier Group, LLC, in Richmond, Virginia. In 2015, he established the Willie E. Lanier Sr. Endowed Lectureship in Business Ethics in the Earl G. Graves School of Business and Management at Morgan in the amount of $500,000 to promote research in business ethics. He is a distinguished Morgan alumnus in whose achievements Morgan takes great pride. Mr. President, for his exceptional achievements as Morgan football player, for his remarkable success as professional athlete, for his extraordinary contributions as philanthropist and supporter of education, and for his superb example as Morganite making a difference in the world, I am pleased to present to you Willie E. Lanier Sr., professional football player, businessman, philanthropist, and loyal Morganite, to receive at your hands the degree Doctor of Laws honoris causa.
Willie E. Lanier, Sr., by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of Morgan State University, I confer upon you the degree Doctor of Laws with all the rights, privileges, duties, and responsibilities thereto appertaining. Congratulations, Dr. Lanier.
Good morning. It's difficult to speak on how that feels. It's not something that when I arrived here in 1963 that I could think that one day in 2016 that such a moment would occur. One of the things that Dr. Wilson said was all rights and privileges thereto appertaining. Second time I've heard that here at Morgan. Those words mean that you are equal with anyone in the world to achieve outcomes that can be beneficial to you. Roland Martin, I appreciate the comments that you made, because as Roland Martin was speaking, I was thinking through my own journey, and you will look at your journey of having lived those moments of which he spoke. Many of the things that I was going to think about saying today, and I'll have some framing of some of those things, Roland sort of put it in a nice, robust manner. And the way he went to the Morgan band to uplift it, well, part of my background is sport. Part of my background is athletic. I was going to give you the dignified academic side of me until Roland spoke. So what Roland did was let me come to life, because that's who I am. I am him. We could have played together, because the moments that he spoke, he said something about tag your text. I can speak extemporaneously just like he can. God gave us the same background, same DNA. But I'm going to be dignified until he said tag your text. And then I said, well, I'll do that. So I wrote, there's more you will do than you expected. That's my text for you. And he started it. So with that being said, I come to Morgan in 1963. I'm a walk-on. I'm not a scholarship athlete. I came here trying to get an education. I came here because I was going to try to do something that I was going to forge a path, that I was going to define how I achieved what I wanted to achieve. And it all started even before that. Roland talked about newspapers. Well, I started carrying newspapers when I was 12 years old. I won a trip to Florida when I was 14 years old in 1959. Oh, when the buses got to Union Station in Florida, the black and white paper carriers from Richmond, there was one set of buses took them to the Fountain Blue Hotel on Collins Avenue. The other set took us to the Sir John Hotel in Liberty City. And I then went, oh, how interesting that is, because there was something different. But that also meant that you had to reach, you had to work to achieve, you had to define where you were going, and you had to believe in your faith to get you there. So that has not changed. I stand here before you today, having played professional football with the great skill that coaches gave me here at Morgan State. I made sure none of the coaches in Kansas City ever thought they gave me me. God gave me me, Morgan gave me the direction, and that's how I was able to do what I did. So from that athletic standpoint, also, I'm 71 years of age. I played the sport for 11 years, and I have nothing wrong with me. Because in that first year, I had a undetected subdural hematoma. I was unconscious for 2 hours on the field. The team had me back playing in 2.5 weeks. I then take myself out of the game after some eye doctor told me to tackle the clearer image, which is idiotic, but that's what it was. So with that being a point of background, I'm sent to Mayo Clinic, Rochester, Minnesota, told I had a previously undiagnosed subdural hematoma. I asked the doctor, can I have an unequivocal clean bill of health? He said, no, it was God's grace. I decided if I play again, which I did for the next 10 years, that I would play figuring out how to protect me, to be healthy on Monday, and that's what he and I were going to do. So I played another 10 years, didn't miss about half a game, barely had a hangnail. And I figured out how to protect based on the physics. So in terms of the journey of life and things that we are trying to do, you're still trying to reach. I started an I started an MBA program at UMKC in Kansas City that same first year. In 1975, I was the first African American to attend the executive program at the Darden School at the University of Virginia. In the midst of that, there were reaches, and my reaches were business administration related. with no limit. And with no limit, as you find yourself with opportunity, Roland mentioned someone else. He mentioned TV One. And what he didn't know was that there was a doctor in Richmond named Dr. Walton Bell, an African-American person, who bought a radio station in Crewe, Virginia, and sold it to Radio One. Because he sold it to Radio One, I knew he was an entrepreneur. So therefore, he assisted me psychologically in believing I could take another step. So I was able to take another step and bought part of an automotive logistics company based in Michigan. Dr. Bell and I were the two who did that. So each step becomes one of one gets another, and you're inspired by different people in different places. At times, the message will be very similar because the parallels tend to be very similar. So I also know that, as I was talking to Dr. Gilliam, we were invited when the African American Museum was acknowledged in Washington by a gentleman named Robert F. Smith, the wealthiest African American man in this country. My wife, Barbara, would you please stand, also a graduate of Morgan State College. We had the benefit of flying with Robert F. Smith on his plane after the Super Bowl from San Francisco to Los Angeles before Cheryl Hitchcock and Dr. Wilson and I went to Mr. Tyler's home to thank him for his next large contribution to your school. So I'm saying this to emphasize the reality. That which you will do is more than you can expect. This hand, the one that you see here, has touched 5 of the 44 presidents of the United States of America. I thought it was going to be 6 because I met Hillary Clinton in Florida 20 years ago. Oops, just didn't quite work. But I also will say this as I start to close, that one of the things that I would do is to think forward, reach, and be equal to anyone, and to not be hesitant of expressing it. So when I was here at Morgan State College in 1967, feeling good about who I was, getting ready to graduate with a degree in business administration, the sitting president was named Lyndon Baines Johnson. I sent an invitation to my graduation to the President of the United States of America. And I share that with you only because it was a comfort to do. Now, I received back a card with a presidential seal, no doubt embossed with the president's name. Unfortunately, I didn't keep it. But the point I'm making is that you will continue to have the opportunity to think and to scale and to be. And with the ability to do that, God willing, hopefully one day, you're asked to return to look and see what all of your skills have wrought. And with that, I thank the administration, I thank the Board of Regents, I thank all of you for allowing me to have another moment for all rights and privileges thereto appertaining. God bless you, Godspeed. Have a wonderful journey on your graduation.
You've just heard 2 remarkable speeches, and when you can't add anything, you just simply move on. Congratulations once again to Dr. Willie E. Lanier, Sr. And so now I'm pleased to present Dr. Gloria Gibson, our Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs, who will recognize the seniors receiving honors. Dr. Gibson.
Mr. President, I am pleased to present honors graduates as follows. And I would like, as I read the honors for those graduates, to stand. Cum laude. These are graduates with honors with a grade point average of 3.4 to 3.59. Please stand to be acknowledged. Next, we have magna cum laude. These students have a high honor with a grade point average of 3.6 to 3.79. Please stand to be acknowledged. And finally, we have summa cum laude with the highest honor with a grade point average of 3.8 to 4.0. Please stand to be acknowledged. These honorees are recognized by the blue and gold tassels and the gold honor cords that they wear, and their individual honors will be announced as they walk across the stage to receive their degrees. Mr. President, I am also pleased to announce the top honors in the class of December 2016. The highest ranking student in the class of December 2016 with a straight 4.0 cumulative average and 138 credits is Heather Gonzalez Yeager in electrical engineering. Please stand. The second highest ranking student in the class of December 2016 with a cumulative average of 4.0 and 128 credits is Faresh Arazi Esfali in architecture and environmental design. Please stand. Since 1953, the president of Morgan State University has presented awards to outstanding members of the graduating class. The first of these awards is the President's Second Mile Award. It is presented to a member of the graduating class who best exemplifies the ideal of going the second mile in making a contribution to the enhancement of campus life. The President's Second Mile Award for December 2016 is presented to Julian C. Curry, elementary education major. Please come forward. Ms. Curry. She is also Miss Morgan. Let's give her another hand. The second award is the President's Creative Achievement Award. It is presented to a member of the graduating class who has made an exceptional contribution of a creative nature. The President's Creative Achievement Award for December 2016 is presented to Andrea M. Ngure, Architecture and Environmental Design major. Please come to the stage.
I think we're going to be all over TV1 on Monday here. Please join us in congratulating our two outstanding students who have just received awards. And so now that moment that we've all been waiting for, the degrees in course will now be conferred. And I am going to once again call upon Dr. Gloria Gibson, our Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs. Dr. Gibson.
Mr. President, the candidates for degrees will be presented by the deans of the college and schools of the university as they appear in the order of exercises.
All candidates for the degree Doctor of Philosophy, please rise. All candidates for the degree Doctor of Education, please rise. All candidates for the degree Doctor of Public Health, please rise. Mr. President, I'm honored to present the candidates who have qualified in all respects for the degrees Doctor of Philosophy, Doctor of Education, and Doctor of Public Health.
By authority vested in me by the Morgan State University Board of Regents, I now confer upon you en masse the degrees Doctor of Philosophy, Doctor of Education, and Doctor of Public Health, with all the rights, privileges, duties, and responsibilities thereto appertaining. Congratulations to all of our newly minted doctorates.
Abdul Rahman Ali Alahawan. Dissertation, The Impact of Social Capital of Entrepreneurs on Government Venture Capital Decisions in Saudi Arabia. Rhonda Joanna Battle. Dissertation, international student athletes retention at NCAA Division I institutions. Yvette E. Bersing, dissertation, examining item functioning in the grade 4 literacy test in Jamaica. Felicia F.J. Eru, dissertation, identification of differential item functioning of self-esteem in a sample of high-achieving minority students. Subin Ona, dissertation, the development of a semi-automated score reporting framework using a Roche measurement model. Tamika L. Payton, dissertation, the student scale of culturally responsive teaching, a development and validation study using the Roush rating scale model. Catherine A. Lashley, dissertation, Girls on Fire, Gender and Disability in the Hunger Games and Divergent. Cheryl E. Mango, dissertation, High Black Pressure, Major Issues and Controversies that led to Jimmy Carter's 1980 creation of the White House Initiative on Historically Black Colleges and Universities. Nina Imani Fields, dissertation, the contribution of urban for-positive youth development towards social capital and implications for social justice. Krista C. Gilliam, dissertation, social work leadership, predictors of leadership positions in a sample of human service professionals. Vincent Okereke Agbukowu, dissertation, student perceptions of safety at urban, suburban, and rural community colleges. Lorraine Y.A. Fredericks Thompson, dissertation, the impact of a 9th grade academy program on student achievement. Tania Melissa McCoy, dissertation, assessing goals, student engagement, and student effort at community colleges. Tanya M. Osmond, dissertation, motivational orientations of Native and adult community college transfer students. Patricia Lynn Riley, dissertation, student perceptions of classroom incivility in multi-ed community college classrooms. Ryan E. Smith, dissertation, Alabama Community College residential and non-residential student persistence comparisons. Kathy Lynn Yorkshire, dissertation, examining the impact of a first-year seminar course on success of community college developmental students. John U. Itakpe, dissertation, oral cancer in Maryland, the correlation between dentist knowledge and practices regarding oral cancer examinations. Eric Ochekwu Nawazu. Dissertation, comparing knowledge of sexual risk behavior in HIV/AIDS prevention between teens participating in becoming a responsible teen and teens participating in a summer youth development program. Christine N. Edunuba. Dissertation, examining the relationship between stroke risk factor profiles, stress, and stroke among African American women by place of birth. Ivane Amaka Nikim Nwanku Imogu. Dissertation, examining the relationship of family support and pediatric adherence to HIV antiretroviral treatment and PEPFAR care and treatment programs in Nigeria. Kevin Mark P. Jackman. Dissertation, exploring a role for electronic personal health record services as sexual health discussion tools, a mixed method study among young Black adults.
Masters.
All candidates for the degree Master of Arts, please rise. All candidates for the degree Master of Arts in Teaching, please rise. All candidates for the degree Master of Business Administration, please rise. All candidates for the degree Master of City and Regional Planning, please rise. All candidates for the degree Master of Engineering, please rise. All candidates for the degree Master of Landscape Architecture, please rise. All candidates for the degree Master of Public Health, please rise. All candidates for the degree Master of Science, please rise. All candidates for the degree Master of Social Work, please rise. Mr. President, I am honored to present the candidates who have qualified in all respects for the degrees Master of Arts in Teaching, Master of Business Administration, Master of City and Regional Planning, Master of Engineering, Master of Landscape Architecture, Master of Public Health, Master of Science, and Master of Social Work.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Morgan State University Board of Regents, I now confer upon you in mass the master's degree according to the department and school in which you have qualified, with all the rights, privileges, duties, and responsibilities thereto appertaining. Congratulations to all of our master's recipients.
Jonathan I. Adkins Taswell. Rihanna Michelle Rogers. Blake M. Fisher. Khalid Salim Al-Misi. Abdullah Break Mohammed Al-Kanari. Christopher J. Gaines. Basal Fahan. Bander Al-Suwalhin. Emma R. Richardson, Tana N. Reed, Sarah Haji Al-Qanas, Amal Maham Al-Shahari, Maha Mohammed Hamed Akalbahi, Razan Falehi Al-Baki, Ashak Atuwarkiki, Maurice D. Walton, Chloe Alexandra Washington, Kevin A. Lewis, Brittany M. Wynn, Kiara Sheree Conaway, Benjamin E. Cranshaw, Krishan Peoples, Danielle N. Rose, Rian L. Smith, Michelle C. Evans, Michelle Carter, Sean R. Turner, Jamal Jenkins, Renat Kusaniov, Hanande E. Al-Bagami, Ayman Omar Alatas, Hussam Safa Al-Gamadi, Abdulaziz Sulaiman Al-Hine, Abdullah Muhammad Al-Hati, Jaquilisi A. Dos Santos, Yasser Muhammad Saidi, Eid Al-Gaidi, Abdullah M. Anufasi, Abdulaziz Al-Shaharani, Khalid Al-Matari, Salih A. Al-Ruhwati, Obeid Al-Shamari, Eric M. Atandi, Israel Tuwani Odebodi, Temitope O. Fakayisi, Ayman Salim Alfifi, Khalud Nagadi, Razan S. Aliyahai, Monique R. Ruomo, Ahmed Z. Al-Shawi, Kevin C. Brown, Thomas Chukawanali Opia, Emmanuel Stewart, Eric A. Farrow, Mariam Abdulaziz Al-Muhim, Perry Barnes, Joshua Kofi Bandizi Anand, Kolu Winifred Kopaloko, Marina Suaz Kweke, Mona Ali, Erica H. Gravetti, Vadis Anuncia Fleming, Michelle L. Cole Burnett, Kusana Ania Jackson, Fisal Khalid Ashreed, Saud Abdullah Asharani, Saeed M. Sahan, Bader A. Al-Musa, Ahmed Al-Sharami, Anup Batarari, Juanita Singletary Jones, Shanae Monique White, Brittany B. Stewart, Jasmine M. Devonish, Oluwatimile A. Kowaloli, Brent S. Marable, Moisi L. Igayor, Rochelle A. McDuffie, Shaquana A. Lynch, Jamila T. Kamara, Basim Matayuri, Angelo Turnage, Tashana M. Thompson, and Deja D. Matthews.
All candidates for the degrees Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, and Bachelor of Science in the College of Liberal Arts, please rise. Mr. President, I am pleased to present the candidates who have qualified in all respects for the degree Bachelor of Arts, the degree Bachelor of Fine Arts, and the degree Bachelor of Science in the College of Liberal Arts with specification according to the department in which they have qualified.
All candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in the School of Architecture and Planning, please rise. Mr. President, I am pleased to present the candidates who have qualified in all respects for the degree Bachelor of Science in the School of Architecture and Planning, with specification according to the departments in which they have qualified.
All candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in the School of Business and Management, please rise. Yeah. Mr. President, I am pleased to present the candidates who have qualified in all respects for the degree Bachelor of Science in the School of Business and Management, with specification according to the departments in which they have qualified.
The candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in the School of Community Health and Policy, please rise. Love Morgan spirit. Right. Mr. President, I am pleased to present the candidate who has qualified in all respects for the degree Bachelor of Science in the School of Community Health and Policy, with specification according to the department in which she has qualified.
All candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in the School of Computer, Mathematical, and Natural Sciences, please rise. Mr. President, I'm pleased to present the candidates who have qualified in all respects for the degree Bachelor of Science in the School of Computer, Mathematical, and Natural Sciences, with respective specification according to the department in which they have qualified.
All candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in the School of Education and Urban Studies, please rise. Mr. President, I I am pleased to present the candidates who have qualified in all respects for the degree Bachelor of Science in the School of Education and Urban Studies with specification according to the departments in which they have qualified.
All candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in the School of Engineering, please rise. Mr. President, I am pleased to present the candidates who have qualified in all respects for the degree of Bachelor of Science in the School of Engineering with specification according to the departments in which they have qualified.
All candidates for the degrees Bachelor of Art and Bachelor of Science in the School of Global Journalism and Communication, please rise. Mr. President, I am pleased to present the candidates who have qualified in all respects for the degrees Bachelor of Art and Bachelor of Science in the School of Global Journalism and Communication with specification according to the departments in which they have qualified.
That worked.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Morgan State University Board of Regents, I do hereby confer upon you en masse the bachelor's degree with all the rights, privileges, duties, and responsibilities thereto appertaining. Congratulations to all of our new baccalaureate degree graduates.
The College of Liberal Arts. Ebony Monet Orr. Bria Batson. Jeremy Lamar Lee. Ryan J. Brooks. Devin Dedford. Gentle Lachey Dukes. Shaniel T. Dewberry. Imani S. Davis. Shavia Shri Savage. Yep.
Just do it like this. That's easy for you.
Leah Janae Shanae. Ashley M. Smith. Regina Diara Gadsden. Risharda Helena Yvonne Ross. Shannon M. Frost. Charles Calvin Robinson. Albert T. Remay Speed. Joshua David William Spencer. Lori A. Perry. Derek DeWitt Williams. Shahid Jahai Smith. Randy Lionel Hampton. Deborah Leonie Watson. Nkosi Filbert. Daniel Christopher Goddard. Felisa Rochelle Stout. Alexis K. Ray. Cheyenne R. Bass. Jeffrey D. Crowell. Courtney Shanice Pace. Malik Raquel Ulati. Alexis Jasmine Covington. Tavon S. Nelson. Brittany D. Ware. Chelsea K. Russell. Mildred Ellis. Angel Vanessa Ross. Danielle D. Genest. David Jerome Castor. Daniel Charisse Robinson. Marcus Julius Frazier. Elliot Stephen Oliver Williams. Ademayi Xavier Davis. Kenneth Tyrone Qualls II. Ciara Janice Stewart. Diamond Shakol Lewis. Micaiah Iona Rogers. Jamila K. Tukar, cum laude. Tori Princess Huff. Jasmine Shelby Dixon. Dante Dupre Williams. Marcus Jennings. Clarissa D. Bush Warren. Robert Michael Horn. Natia O. Williams. Lori Ann Christian. Christina Virginia Jordan. Dimitri Mikkel Callwood Jackson. Maya Oriana Hodge. Christina Lee Tapayan. Justin Michael Wall. That was the College of Liberal Arts. This is the School of Architecture and Planning. Bokar Thiam. Michael A. McFadden. Jonathan W. Green. Aquila Rosetta Forbes Paylor. Morgan Chanel Cobbs. Fereste Sadat Orezi Esfani. Andrew Mentuthia Ngure. Benjamin Flores, Kalgi K. Vader, Brian A. Amayawa, Kevin Joshua Huartarte, Davisiman T. Garmo, Viola Alither Kaysen, Maria Martin, Jap Haynes IV. That was the School of Architecture and Planning. Okay, this is the School of Business and Management. Kristen Taylor Schotz, Turquoise Biscoe, Ademola Adeola Rogers, Latifat A. Ibrahim, Amber Victoria Carter, cum laude, Jovinda Padel, magna cum laude, Mahumadou Mustafa Gouye, Henry Shadera Obiafelu, Carlisha Bryan, Musa Diarra, Timiotope A. Ige, Walter D. Harrell, Micaiah Cherie Hudson, Justin Anthony Vereen, Joyce Karaluki, Michonne A. Stallings, Sarona Taylor, Thomas J. Martin, Seth Cornelius Ingram, Samuel Japaith Ingram, Shamika Katana Clement, Kiera Miche Snowden, Trayvon A. Hernandez, Mark David Jones, Brittany K. Johnson, Dewana Black, Brandon M. Cigar, Oluwatomi Olawai Oni, Saeed Mohammed Al-Qatani, Ibrahim Adi Al-Qaradar, Dafar Mohammed Al-Abutala, Salam Saeed Al-Ababi, Walid Abdullah Al-Ghurahib, Marquise Antonio Hatton, Courtney R. Warren, Chanel Monet Campbell, Aaron Kyle Colbert, Aaliyah Chapman, Taisha Imani Samad Brown, Hajra Adayawuni, Nafisa I. Garland, Unique Kendra Brown, Morgan K. McKee, Maurice Quentin Williams Jr., Minx Balawa, Markham Kevin Banks, Omar Turner, Edith M. Smith, Destiny Mercedes Self, Valida Cherie Robinson, Sharnita Donetta Walker, Brenea Diara Fenner. Danielle Janae McKnight. Omashala T. Ogby. Casford Ian Johnson, cum laude. David A. Jones. Gwinnett Olivia King. Mariah Spencer. Alfina Sharina Davis. Curtis Dean Moore. Charles K. Owusu. Jessica Andrea Jefferson. Fadwa Makwai Alagabir, cum laude. Grace Elizabeth Mooney, magna cum laude. Kayla Hall. Oluwadara Oroloua Olundunjoye. Stephanie Oluwasiun Nobusi. Zanil Beauty Nyanthi. Jakira M. Galloway. In Vogue Injaya Jordan. That was the School of Business and Management. This is the School of Community Health and Policy. Daniel Markham, cum laude.
This is the School of Computer, Mathematical, and Natural Sciences. Sika Jocelyn Sika Jocelyn Dedew. Matilda MacArthur, magna cum laude. Mona A. Nga. Ahmed Soul. Joseph Lawrence Jones, cum laude.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a historic commencement, and just crossing the stage is our 50,000th graduate. Joseph Jones.
Boy, you better smile. It's going to be around for another 150 years. Don't have that jail look. Show some teeth.
And so Mr. Joseph Jones's name will go into the history books at Morgan. Congratulations, 50,000th graduate of Morgan State University, December 2016 graduation exercises, Talmadge Hill Field House, Morgan State University, David Wilson, President. Congratulations, Mr. Jones.
We continue with the School of Computer, Mathematical, and Natural Sciences. Tomiabre V. Monroe. Alexis Mahogany Hall. Trevor Bernard Wally. Danielle Azum Njay. Olawa Tomisin O. Enitan. Olawasium Ebenezer Akin Teria, magna cum laude. Alex Corey Severin. Terefe Alemu Mengistu. Brian Coggins. This is the School of Education and Urban Sciences. You ready? Deja L. Wooten. Nisha Michaela McBride. Alexis Andveria Stewart. Ayana Monet Smith. Kanisha Reed. Brianna Elizabeth Nicole Rhyme. Lamika Andrea Moore. Michelle Nikara Oriaku. Kenisa C. Green. Candace Ayana Medley. Naima L. Rogers. Shania Brene Goss. Winona Elizabeth Omega Richardson, cum laude. Chandela Williams. Ashley Danielle Wilson. Janice Jalil Ward. Dina Colette Jones. LaQuisha Monet Robertson. Ayana Fredericks. Erica M. Steele. Torre S. Curry. Friday Shinjiko Onikuru. Lauren Simone Gabriel. Moses Skillon. Joseph Nguyenman Felix Uku, magna cum laude. Graylin E. Harrison. Latara S. Swan. Janelle Moika Taylor. Jillian Christina Curry. Jade Marie Shelton. Ashley Morris. Vincent A. Owije. Bukula Taiwo Alade. Monique Gardner. Jasmine Marie Thomas cum laude. Cecil E. Upshur. Mariam A. Situ. Nkechi Ngodan. Devin B. Richards. Cynthia A. Ofosu. Ganiyat Imbukon Awofala, magna cum laude. Hatsatu Aisha Jallo. This is the Clarence M. Mitchell School of Engineering. Chinedu Donald Ilobinso, summa cum laude. Roy Mpanju, cum laude. Maureen M. Kyoko, magna cum laude. Abimbola Jane Jiwa. Ihotu Eunice Oko, magna cum laude. Terrence Nathaniel McCrae. Debonair Wilson. Destiny Danae Bond. Kevin Luvandaire Little Jr., cum laude. Emmanuel Chiwubuka Chedu, summa cum laude. Asia Renee Green. Victoria Clark. Michael Edward Green II. Divine Master Wilson. Sharif Osokwa Rame, cum laude. Mario Enrique Pina, cum laude. Johanton Getachew Sibde. Tatek Ahmed, cum laude. Aduna Dejine Tisazu. Johannes Te Zewede, cum laude. Jose K. Robinson, cum laude. Francis Volcan Azebaze. Tony Edward Powell. Kojovi Abenyega Komlan Womi, magna cum laude. Tyler M. Thomas. Charles Sims. Leon C. Reed II. Abayomi Alaoluwa Onireti. Keontae A. Bush, magna cum laude. Michael Eugene Ellison. Emmanuel Shinako. William James McLennan. Evalie Machedu, cum laude. Luis Manuel Alvarez Garcia, cum laude. Elmoad Mohamed Osman. Larry D. Chase. Natasha Monique Morant. Heather K. Gonzalez Yeager, summa cum laude. Keon Gray. Olufemi Ayo Dipo Adugjenyen. Omubolale O Aluba. Brittany M. Lewis. Joshua Nathaniel Lee. Brandon Alexander Ashworth. Matthew M. Douglas. Denzel Brian Hamilton, magna cum laude. Robin Tapa Magar, magna cum laude. Mustafa El Fahami. Hussein Mohammed Kohal, magna cum laude. Saqib Abba Shah. Rasel Khan. Dahari Al-Bassam. Muhammad Ali Allahani. Saeed Abdul Asharani, magna cum laude. Ahmed Ghanem Al-Sharani, magna cum laude. Salah Al-Sulaiman. Faha Al-Shamar. Anas Maha M. Al-Thadyabi. Muhammad Hussein Ayemi, summa cum laude. Courtney I. Russell. Kevon C. Brown, magna summa cum laude. Thomas Shaquana Lu Opia. The last degree in the School of Engineering will be awarded posthumously It is awarded to Dimitri T. Clemens, a civil engineering major from Silver Spring, Maryland, who died unexpectedly in September 2016 after meeting the requirements for graduation. A number of his relatives are in the audience as our special guest. I ask them to stand as his mother, Miss Lynn Clemens, comes forward to accept the degree on his behalf. This is the School of Global Journalism and Communication. Devontae King, James Cannon, Oluwa Damilola F. Saforoa, Terrell James, Michelle Nicole Harris, cum laude, Javon O. Hill, Eric Du Bois, Trudeau Smith, Linnell Shannon, Calvin Johnson, Chanel Monet Morgan, cum laude, Deanna K. Glenn, Alexis Danielle Keefe, Lavon Duwan Brown III, Khadijah R. Brodre, Alexia M. Crawley, cum laude, Ronisha Crawley, Ariana N. Walton, Anissa Caldwell, Brianna Shantae McCarran Hill, Miles D'Angelo Ratcliffe, Sean Monique LaShonda Thomas, Claudette Denise Tanabe Smith, Sinclair Simone Cruel, Kendra Sharon Hawkins, cum laude, George Davison IV, Kashmir Cottrell Fogg, Ariel Monique McNeil. The December 2016 graduates.
Ladies and gentlemen, one of the three historic graduating classes during our sesquicentennial year, I present to you the class of December 2016. Congratulations to all of you. You may be seated. In keeping with the long-standing tradition here at Morgan, I'm happy to present to you at this time the president of the senior class, Ms. Alexis Holmes, who will issue a salute to the graduates and to the university. Ms. Holmes.
Good afternoon. I would like to extend my final congratulations to you, the last graduating class of 2016. I know that for some of you, this point of your journey has been tough. It has come with challenges, but a tough journey could convey strength and perseverance to your personal and academic life. Oftentimes, we as seniors think that senior year is supposed to be smooth sailing because in our minds, we've already done the hard work necessary to reach this point. Nevertheless, this is the time where you must stay focused, driven, and committed. Not because you have completed one step of your journey, but you can mark this milestone as a major accomplishment towards your future endeavors. Someone once said, anyone can give up. It's the easiest thing in the world to do. But to hold it together when everyone else would understand if you fell apart, that's true strength. A person who graduates from college has the power to carry out demanding tasks and has to prepare for the new challenges waiting in the next chapter of life. And even though we have been faced with different trials and tribulations, I want all of you to know that any losses you have ever experienced up to this point were never losses, but lessons learned. Maybe you didn't get that job you wanted because the interview didn't go as planned, or friends that you thought would never fail you have failed you. But these are life experiences that will shape you into the person you are growing to be. As you start your next chapter in life, continue to develop new relationships, build networks, and expand career opportunities. These are skills that will not only advance you in your profession, but also in your personal life. There's an old saying, sometimes it's not about what you know, but who you know. The people sitting beside you will soon be officially graduates of Morgan State University. These people will be our future business owners, doctors, lawyers, or even engineers. Today, you sit here as mature men and women, college seniors, leaders, and a newly graduate of one of the nation's finest institutions. As a Morgan State student, we live by the motto of growing the future, leading the world. This is an important message because of the times we now face due to recent political changes. So I say all that to emphasize, don't stop here. As an HBCU graduate, we must make sure that we have the credentials to make us competitors and successful in our diverse world. Society is looking for us to impact the world and create new visions for the future. The future is now in your hands, so lead the way. In the wise words of our President, Barack Obama, change will not come if we wait for some other person or if we wait for some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. I won't say goodbye. I'll say until we meet again. Continue to prosper. Continue to learn and grow. But most importantly, continue to strive for the best. Your competitors will be at the finish line. Don't meet them there. Beat them there. Thank you.
You know, earlier in the year, Ms. Holmes and I had a conversation. She said, President Wilson, I have a fear of speaking in public. Well, there was no fear in that speech, that's for sure. And so thank you very much, Ms. Holmes, for delivering a great salute to the graduates of the class of December 2016. And so now I'm going to ask the Reverend Dr. Charles D. Fletcher, President of the Morgan State University Alumni Association, to come forward, and he will induct all of our new graduates into the National Alumni Association. Dr. Fletcher.
Good afternoon, one and all. This is a special day for Morgan. And so to the President, to the senior leadership of Morgan, to the Board of Regents, fellow foundation members, all alumni all over planet Earth, and to my special 20 friends out there, and of course, the class of December 2016. You are about to join a group who numbers over 50,000. In fact, I had the opportunity to witness the 50,000 graduate to cross this stage. And we're about to take a covenant together, a covenant that covers over 150 years. So will the graduates of this class please stand? Our oath is found on page 4 of your program booklet that I heard the president say you might want to hang on to for a while. And I need you to repeat after me. I hereby solemnly pledge unbroken allegiance to alma mater, in appreciation for opportunities for development afforded me as a student at Morgan State University. I pledge active membership in the National Alumni Association, wherever I may be. Through association with fellow alumni, I shall ever do my best to uphold the ideals and traditions of alma mater. I pledge as a citizen to exemplify the high ideals thus implied, rendering positive service to community, state, and nation, and so to live as ever to bring honor and respect to alma mater. Congratulations, you are now members of the Morgan State University Alumni Association. And as newly minted members, you are now eligible to vote in all coming elections, and I do hope to see you at some of our annual board meetings on campus as soon as you can make it happen. Congratulations, grow the future, become leaders of this world, in the name of Jesus the Christ.
You may be seated. We are coming to the close of our ceremony, and ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for being with us today to join in Morgan's 4th December commencement exercises and the first of the 3 sesquicentennial commencement exercises. We know that you share our pride in the ladies and gentlemen assembled here who have reached this milestone in their lives, and we know that you join us in wishing much success in their careers and in their advanced studies. I do want you to join me in giving another round of applause to our speaker, Roland Martin, because commencements at Morgan just won't be the same after this one. Roland, thank you very much. And please remember his powerful message to us this morning. And so I would just like to make some final comments, some final words to the class of December 2016. You know, we know that the last 4 or 5 years or so have tested your ability and your resolve to succeed here at Morgan and in higher education in general. We have challenged you in every respect here at Morgan, and we do not apologize for that. And we have dared you to dream dreams bigger than those that you held when you entered this institution. We have summoned you day in and day out to reach for the stars. And along the way, we have cautioned you that if indeed you grab that star that you're reaching for, perhaps your aspiration was just simply not great enough. We have urged you to be committed to, as Ms. Holmes indicated, growing the future and leading the world. Because regardless what you read, you are that future. And you have responded to our charge, and you received your calling to go out there as Roland Martin and Willie Lanier reminded us, to step onto the world stage. You're stepping onto that stage, we know, with competence. We want you to step onto that stage with Morgan pride, with remarkable vigor, and with enthusiasm, because you are prepared to make your mark in the world. We are proud of each and every one of you, and we look forward to hearing of your success in the future. Now, as you leave us, please do not forget to come back, because Morgan is your home. And please do not forget, as you climb higher and higher on the ladders of success, to reach back like Willie Lanier did and assist those students who will follow in your footsteps. You may not have $500,000 to give to the institution, but you do have something. And they will be inspired, those future students, by your example and by your record of achievement. So come back. Don't forget alma mater. Give back, because those who come before you, they have given back handsomely. And as a result of that, I know, because I know many of you who just crossed this stage, it was because of the scholarships and the financial aid that those who have given back, who have come this way, enabled you to sit now as a Morgan proud graduate. And so good luck. Good luck to you as you leave us. Go out there, make us proud, because this university is proud of each and every one of you. And so I'm going to ask all of our guests to rise and to remain standing until after the recessional leaves the arena. And I want to also remind our graduates to please hand your completed diploma release forms to the ushers as you leave the arena, because doing so, you have to pass that in. That will trigger the automatic mailing of your diplomas, and you should get those in early to late January. And so our soloist, Ms. Barnes, we're going to ask you to come forward now, lead us in the singing of our alma mater, after which we'll have the benediction by Reverend Bernard Keels. Ms. Barnes and Reverend Keels in that order. Thank you.
Fair morning.
Now to all of us, may the one whose word preceded every beginning will abide at every ending. May this word be the capstone of your destiny. So much is coming to a close, and far more is just beginning. Receive and claim your blessing of the one who gives you joy. Forever keep your minds and hearts open to welcome the stranger, to embrace the other. Let's not dim the light of learning. Let's snuff out the candle of hope. For somewhere, someone needs your witness. And I wish for you a peace, P-I-E-C-E, of the peace, P-E-A-C-E, of the Prince of Peace. Be well.